So I just lifted up this crankshaft and I was looking into there and said, oh, found something quite interesting. A Boyer Branston ignition that looks like it was never actually taken out of the box and used, but the mice have certainly gotten to it. The mice have certainly gotten to it, but it all is in there. Electronic ignition for a 3-cylinder. Well guys, I guess it's like that old saying, never say never. The videos I made on the Triumph Trident, where I disassembled the engine, I said in that video that it's very possible that that might be the last Trident that I deal with that's not my own. Well, we came across another one. And actually, this might be more than one. What you're looking at here is T160 parts. And I'm not going to tell you what we paid for them because you'd call us a thief. I know just looking around that there's probably about 90% of a bike here, plus multiple parts. I'm not sure exactly how they happen to end up in these totes or why. There might be broken stuff, don't care. Just surface, looking on the surface. I didn't even dig through the tote yet because there's no point. I can tell right away it's all Trident stuff. When I walked up on it, I saw the tank and I said that's T160, and that's what it is. It's an electric start Trident. The slant forward motor, or the BSA style motor. I know there's some guys in Australia that I've sold to in the past, and there's guys in England that I've sold to in the past that are going to be salivating over this stuff. So let's take a look at some of the stuff we got here. Okay, we got 3 wheels, 2 fronts, and a rear. I believe I also saw another rear hub in one of the totes looking through. Complete top end. Well, not complete. A top end. It is still together. And the bores look like they have been greased down. The lifters are still in it. I found one which basically looks like a brand new valve, or a NOS valve. It's not brand new anymore, but you know what I mean. I found that in one of the boxes, sitting on one top of the boxes. I suspect there's probably more. There's a front and rear fender, 3-into-1 pipes, which were not stock, but kind of cool to have. They're a little bit damaged on bottom. Not a little bit, they're quite a bit damaged on bottom. They'd have to be repaired. That one pipe would have to be repaired. The tank is completely oiled inside, and it appears to be rust free inside, except for, you know, a little bit of surface rust, the normal stuff. I see one dent on it right here. Not terrible, certainly fixable. Other than that, looks to be a good usable tank. It's got both of the side emblems. And tote number 1, we've got some rocker boxes, another hub. I think that's a front hub. Part of an airbox. We have the other part in there. There's another cylinders, another set of cylinders, rocker boxes, primary side cover with the shifter on the left, not the right. That is, came into standard in I believe 75. Shifters were no longer on the right side. Camshafts, headlight ears, brake, crankshaft. I'm not going to dig way down in there. I'll do a later video if I find anything really special. Triple trees or fork clamps, as you guys call them in England, I believe. Or what do you call those things in England? They're fork clamps, or I don't know. You guys call it a different thing. We call them triple trees. Housing for the speedometer cable. There's this main bearing caps. Alright, let's see what's in the next one. In the next one, we got forks, headlight bucket, really nice. Well, not quite so. Got a little rub on there. Headlight, controls, broken piece. There's a manifold for the carburetors, con rods, starter. Look at that starter. Hey, that's a beast. Definitely a beast. Side covers. I see another control down in there. I need to get that out of there before it gets broken too. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to be lightening up these totes. They're really heavy, and try to find a space for all these parts. That's the worst part. Rest of an airbox. I got a kind of interesting airbox. I didn't realize that they were different than the T150s. There's a bunch of pistons down in there. Looks like another brake. Oil tank. Timing side cover. Another cover. Interesting though, these side covers on the T160s were metal. I believe all of the T150s were plastic. However, the Rocket 3s I think were metal as well. Full set of carburetors with another airbox part under the oil tank. We got that's not a radiator, that's an oil cooler. Looks like we got two of those. Taillight housing. There's also the rest of it somewhere around here. Another rear hub. Another set of rocker covers with the rocker still in them. See, like I said, that there seems to be two parts of two bikes here, but just at a visual glance, I'd say that it's not all of both bikes. It's just parts of. Piston ring set. Don't know if this is for this bike. Although 63004. That sounds like a Triumph part number, but hard to say. Alright, let's go to the next tote. Before we do that, there's the frame for one bike. That's the front and rear of the frame. This one is a, let's see if you can see that, T160 BK, and it is 01/1975. Now, and it's got some numbers after that, which I can't read. So BK is early 1975. I believe that's January. So this is a relatively early one. I don't know if they came out with bikes in '74. You know how cars and motorcycles come out. The next year's models normally come out in around September of the previous year. I'm not sure, because Triumph was having a lot of manufacturing issues, if there are any bikes that were actually, there are any T160s that actually came out in 1974. There definitely, obviously there was some that came out in January of '75, so they got their act together then. This frame, and somebody can tell me, I don't know enough about it to know if this section of the frame, the rear section of the frame, I believe is the same with the T150s. This section of the frame, I don't know, the front section. It may be a little different because of the engine leaning forward. Not sure. Now this one, this box looks like a jewelry box. We've got what looks to be the engine cases for at least one bike down in here. That's the center section. Here's the right or left section, another right or left section. I can't tell right this second. Here's another timing cover. Like I said, here is the transmission cover, inner transmission cover. There's another con rod, another rocker box cover. There's a tail light housing, rear brake, I believe that's rear brake. Another piston. That piston looks like it's never been in a bike. Interesting. 3-cylinder points. A NOS Lucas box with a NOS Lucas switch kit in it. Very cool. Looks to be like there's a chain down there. That looks like it's probably a primary chain, probably a Reynolds primary chain. Another camshaft stuck in, actually another camshaft stuck in there. Both camshafts are still stuck in the case. Not sure if that's on purpose or if they're just stuck in there. Side cover emblem case. Another piston that looks to be brand new. They're very funky. That one's broke. Funky timing cover. That's interesting. I don't know how that works. It's broke right there, but this cutout is not broke. That's standard. I guess that's something to do with the starter mechanism. Not sure. Have never messed with a T160. It's a new thing to me. There's throttle cables. I need those actually. Nice. They're in good shape. So there we go, guys. To me, it's like Christmas. I know to a lot of guys it's just a bunch of totes. Hey, those are nice totes. What's all that crap in there? Ask anybody that has to buy parts for these bikes, it ain't crap. Now, what happens to them? Well, I'm not putting it back together. So, somebody else is going to put it back together. There's a lot of what looks to be good parts here, and I'm going to make a little bit of money off of it, and somebody's going to be happy to get them. In this condition, putting this back together in this puzzle, I see no fasteners. Every single fastener would have to be found, replaced, measured, figured out. It just ain't happening. You know, it's just not a project that I want to take on at this point in time. I already have a Trident, and I'm very happy with my Trident, so I wouldn't mind having the electric start, but it's not a big enough deal that it would possess me to spend the next 12 years of my life putting this bike back together. If someone would like to take it on, please contact me. But as of right now, I've got some guys in England and Australia, like I said, that will be salivating over these parts. I sell a lot of parts over there. They're going to want a lot of this stuff. So anyway, guys, I appreciate you watching and subscribing, and I'm almost at 800 as it stands right now, 800 subscribers, which is incredible. I hope you like this sort of content. Just something I found. It's not really technical or anything. I will say though, I do have some stuff coming up. We finished up the MR50. It is not running yet. We're still having some spark issues. I'll explain that in another video. We have started on a mini Indian project that is going to be interesting because I'm actually going to have some machine work on it. I'm going to bore it out to accept an oversized piston because standard size pistons are not available for it anymore, and it needs a new piston. I'm going to make some bushings for the swing arm. That's going to be a little bit of machining work, really simple machining work in some plastic. But the cylinder is going to be interesting because I've never done one before, and we have 2 of them, so I'm willing to give it a shot. I want to try it. It's not a huge thing. It's 50 cc, one single cylinder, and it's got to come out, I believe, 0.6 of a millimeter, something like that. But anyway, guys, once again, thanks for subscribing, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.